I am now at the uh, time where I can talk about some of the things that have been on my mind about science, religion, Milton's God, Milton's narrator as the true God, which is different from Milton's God from Paradise Lost, and some other things. But I'm going to make this kind of quick, so I'm just going to rush through some of my notes here so that I can get them out there, and then I'll write about them later probably. But I'm going to start with Harold Bloom, who says that prophecy is a mug's game. And he also says that Paradise Lost is kind of like, can be read as a kind of science fiction. Well, prophecy comes in a form very early in ancient times in the Bible, where in the Bibles you always get these will be verbs, and that I consider pure prophecy as prediction. So if you say something like, he will be going to heaven, or something like that, even though the Bible doesn't say that, but that's a prediction, that's a prophecy. Now, science is not much different nowadays. Science predicts and controls. And Richard Rorty, my intellectual hero, the pragmatist, who died kind of recently in 2000, I want to say 15 or so. Anyways, I don't know. Yeah, well, maybe it's 2013. Well, it doesn't matter right now. Rorty says that science should be limited to just predicting and controlling. Anything about trying to have science tell us how this is this or this is that falls into metaphysics, or it just doesn't work as well because it holds no privilege over religion, or religion no privilege over science. It's kind of on an equal footing as a way of storytelling. But that also, he says, science is social, or solidarity, and can be considered a philosophy or literature, because philosophy is literature too. Now, Milton's narrator, I was saying, was the true God. This is what Bloom says, Harold Bloom, and he says that because he's unhappy with the regular God in Milton's Paradise Lost. So it's the narrator who moves you through the storytelling, the epic of Paradise Lost, which is who Bloom considers as the true God. Now, the Bibles, all those Bibles will be, whether it's in the Psalms or Proverbs, or Song of Songs, or anywhere pretty much in the Bible, you get tons and tons of will be's, and those are all predictions, those are all prophecies. I myself tried to test my hand in prose and poetry with a lot of will be's as the verbs, or will not be's, predicting using words to kind of do a kind of poetic prediction or prophecy. But I fell into a huge problem. So when I looked after a while through my memory at Milton's God, who predicts and controls, and also who says, this is this and this is that, he's acting exactly like a scientist, an omniscient scientist. But it is the narrator of Milton who tells the story, and whom Bloom considers the major God of the story, not Milton's tyrant God. Because of Milton's God's predicting, controlling, omnisciently, Eve fell, Satan fell, and Adam fell, but the narrator, however, wins the day. So science, therefore, I actually have to say that I don't really have much use for. I tried it and it didn't really work. Let the world have science, but for me, technically, I tried to predict and control just recently And I've also been interested in science, but I'm losing my interest really fast because I'm seeing this as a kind of transcendent storytelling which tries to model itself on Paradise Lost's God, not the narrator God, but the tyrant God. And that's what I'm reading as Milton's God. And my own angels hated it that I tried to predict and control. So they would rather surprise me with their own storytelling. So let the rest of the world have science if that is their interest. But I want something better to tell my stories, like the like the angels who I already have. So in Milton's style of Paradise Lost it was poetical and it was epic, but it was not religious nor scientific, though God in it is religious and scientific. So William Zepson's book Milton's God showed me how God was a tyrant who caused all the trouble in the first place. So that's pretty much all I have to say about all this, and I'll write about it later in some text or something. Thanks for watching.